Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 485. My name is Adam Patterson. With me today we've got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hello. Hi.
This week on the show, we'll be reviewing They Cloned Tyrone, which is out now on Netflix. We'll also be going over some more watching on the watch list and this week's new releases in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Please remember to review us on iTunes if you get a moment. That'd be great. New Saved by the 90s is going to be dropping very soon. It is in the can. I'm working on the edit right now. It's transit movies this week, or this month. We got planes, we got trains, we got submarines, got everything. Anyway, let's talk about They Cloned Tyrone. This is directed by Joel Taylor. I have a synopsis here. A series of eerie events thrusts an unlikely trio onto the trail of a nefarious government conspiracy in this pulpy mystery caper. Kevin, we'll start it with you. What were your initial impressions of They Cloned Tyrone?
Man, I didn't know anything about this movie going into it. And this was quite the surprise. You know, there was a bit of trepidation going into this, with being a Netflix movie and all. I was just like, yeah, we'll see. But man, this is fun as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Thoroughly enjoyed this. This is just, it's funny. It's got a great premise, great world building. And even with it being like 2 hours long, I thought the pacing was pretty phenomenal. I mean, that runtime got me a little worried. Again, it being a Netflix movie and all, which is like, man, Netflix doesn't know what they're doing here. But like everything just worked in this. Jamie Foxx is just exceptional in this movie. His character. I had so much fun because of him.
I feel like Jamie Foxx is he's having some really interesting roles. He was in God is a Bullet, which I'll talk about during the watch list segment, but his character in that was very interesting as well. And he was excellent in that movie as well as this one too. His character was definitely more fun in this one. He was playing Slick Charles, the pimp. But yeah, this movie's great. It's very funny. It's incredibly entertaining. It is very pulpy. I'm glad that they mentioned that in the actual synopsis, which I liked a lot. It's funny, but it doesn't get too stupid. It still manages to be very cool. You have John Boyega in here as Fontaine. He's a drug dealer. And I thought he was excellent in this.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the people who turns out to be a clone, and that's like a whole thing with this movie. And then you have Teyonah Parris as Yo-Yo. She's great too. She plays a prostitute.
Mm-hmm. She's also very, very funny in this movie.
Yes, she's really funny in this. I'm trying to remember. I mean, I know that I saw her in Dear White People. Oh, she was in the new Candyman. That's right.
Mm.
And she was in If Beale Street Could Talk as well. But yeah, I mostly remember her from Dear White People. She was in Chirac as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, basically what you have here is what they discover, sort of unwittingly discover, is that the whole neighborhood is being experimented on. They're subtly putting mind control chemicals and things in pretty much every like aspect of their lives, of the people in this like kind of small community. And it's like a kind of a low income community, and what you have here is like they're sort of exploiting the black people. They're experimenting on them. It's not unlike what we did with crack, really, in real life.
It's definitely using that as kind of like the jumping off point and just being like, how about everything?
Yeah. And it's like always, and it's like all like kind of the stereotypical things, like the hair, like the hair straightener stuff, and the music on the radio is like sort of has its own kind of subliminal like hypnosis type thing. And you have even in church they're giving out like the drink in church that's controlling people, and then of course the fried chicken is tainted with the stuff. And what you have is like these three characters who discover this like lab where they're producing this stuff and decide, you know what, we got to put a stop to this. And the whole thing is sort of run by sort of run by Kiefer Sutherland, which was a surprise. I didn't know he was in this. So
Did not either.
When he popped up, I was like, oh shit.
And it took me a while though, because like it looked like him. I'm like, that's Kiefer Sutherland. It's got to be. But then the voice, I'm like, no, maybe it's not. Just like, but it has to be.
Yep. Yeah, I had a really good time with this. I love the score. It has really good music in it. I love the look. This is shot on film, as far as I can tell, and it has almost this kind of 70s grindhouse vibe.
I wanted to point that out, that it has that throwback feel to it, and even a lot of the production design and everything.
The cars, the costumes, clothing. Like everything feels very vintage. It is kind of surprising to me. Like I think that it probably would have been cooler if they did just set it in the 70s. That might have been cooler, but I don't know.
I think
maybe it would have been too hard. Yeah,
I think it works out this way because it's far more interesting, because it has that throwback feel. And it has that mix of genres where it's like pulpy. It has some blaxploitation vibes to it, but it's also like sci-fi. It's just a nice, interesting mix of genres and styles and stuff.
Yeah. And it does look great. I mean, like I liked how like even the technology that they're using in this is old. Like the intercom system and stuff like that. And when you're in the lab looks old, like large portions of it. It's a great looking movie. It has a very distinct visual style, which I liked. It doesn't look too glossy like so many other movies these days. It feels genuine. I mean, this was definitely a surprise for me. I saw the trailer for this like a couple months ago, and I was like, wow, this kind of came out of nowhere for me. I'm 100% into this idea, but at the same time, I still went into it not really knowing what to expect. I knew a few of the actors in it, wasn't familiar with the director at all. And again, you have that Netflix thing where you're just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I didn't notice what the runtime was going into it either. So that I wasn't familiar with. This is a debut, feature debut from Jewel Taylor.
That's wild.
I know. Cause it's a very tight debut. A lot of times when you have a debut from a director, a feature debut, maybe someone who's done music videos or shorts in the past, they tend to throw everything into their feature debut, and it ends up being too just slightly messy because there's so much style, because you have these directors that are just itching, like they have so much creativity in them that they just end up throwing it all on the screen. But this was all very, very paced, very deliberate. It didn't feel like it was too much. It didn't feel like one of these kind of kitchen sink debuts. It was all very astute.
Yeah, and again, the world building, everything about this conspiracy and the layout of it and everything, it's so well thought out.
Yeah, it's incredibly intriguing too. Like the first time they get to the lab, it definitely hooks you. I mean, even like the first time there when he wakes up after that initial incident, you're just like, oh, okay, all right, something cool's going on here. And I also feel like it almost lends itself to a sequel, which I think would be like this could easily, you could easily franchise this. I mean,
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of opportunities here because, as you said, the world building is so good, and I feel like they don't go super deep into all of the different explanations of this, like what this conspiracy is. So I feel like that there's a lot of room that they could expand on this world. And man, as long as they keep those same characters, I'm 100% on board because I was just I was loving it.
Yeah. I Slick Charles.
Slick Charles,
Really,
he really is incredible.
Jamie Foxx is so fucking good in this movie. I just something about him thumbing through the Nancy Drew books and just him feeling. How many pictures has bitch been on?
I wrote that down. That is the only thing I wrote down about this movie because I didn't want to forget to mention him saying, "How many adventures this bitch been on?" It was so funny. Oh my god. Yeah, it's great. And you have David Alan Grier's in here too. Plays a little cameo, which I thought was fun. But highly recommend They Cloned Tyrone if you have Netflix. Check it out. It's one of the few Netflix original movies that I think really hits. Like this year for Netflix originals, I feel like it's been very weak. Like I'm struggling to think of any other Netflix movies that I really liked this year. No, I can't think of any. I'm not saying there weren't any, but I can't think of them. And but this one is excellent. So check it out. They Cloned Tyrone. Let's go ahead and give it a score. I'm high on this one, man. I'm at like an 8 on this.
I think I give it an 8 as well.
Yep.
I think this is the most fun I've had this year. For movies, from this year.
Yeah. It's great. All right, let's move on. Talk about someone we'll be watching. Kevin, I believe it is your turn this week.
Oh, okay. I watched Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, okay. You're
Spielberg.
Doing some of the Amblin, dipping your toes into some Amblin stuff.
Yeah, which this is kind of wild to me that I haven't seen this because I'm a kind of not necessarily obsessed, but I'm really into like UFO media, movies about UFOs, that kind of thing. So I'm like, well, fucking hell, I have not watched Close Encounters yet. Gotta do it.
I mean, this movie might have a whole new meaning after, I think it's this week, right, that they're doing those hearings on the UFOs.
Oh boy.
So
watch out now.
Who knows? We might learn some big stuff.
So I mean, I think there's a part of that going into this that I might have like hyped it up a bit too much. You know what I mean? Because before I even watched it, I was just like, well, this is definitely going in. This is going to be like the best UFO movie of all time. It has to be. It's just going to be up there, right? Coming off the heels of my Jaws rewatch for, like the 27th time. So I'm riding high on Richard Dreyfuss. I'm riding high on Spielberg. I'm already in the UFO mood. Bob Balaban in there. Come on. So this was pretty exciting. It was a little bit of a letdown. Not a huge letdown. I still enjoyed myself, but I don't know. It felt like it was missing something.
I have a little bit of a hot take. I'm not a huge fan of Close Encounters. My dad loves this movie, but when I first saw this as a kid, I was just like, okay, like it's all right.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I was. Like there was, the look of it is great.
Oh yeah,
it's something that I feel like you don't really see anymore in terms of just like the scope and just like the scale of the movie. Like when they go to India and you have all the people like, doing the chanting and the camera pans out and they're going up the hill and it's just like it's huge, it's all these things. Some of the effects work looks fucking incredible, some of it looks kind of hokey, it being 1977 and all, but I think some of that adds to the charm of it. And
I,
just
I think the ship,
I enjoyed.
the ship holds up, like
Yeah,
the design of the ship.
I thought that was an interesting choice to go with it just kind of being lights.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that choice ends up aging really well because they're just lights. You know what I mean? There's still that like awe to it and that little bit of mystery. So I'm kind of torn. Like I kind of enjoyed it, but it also was just kind of like, man, I was expecting something bigger. I
Mm-hmm.
just thought that this was going to be like you know, a new like absolute favorite.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. Like, I didn't love it as much as I think a lot of other people did. So,
And I don't know why, but Bob Balaban makes me think of your dad.
I can kind of see it. I can kind of see the similarities there.
Just if Bob Balaban was angrier.
Yeah.
With a short fuse,
Yeah.
a little bit of rage simmering under.
Yeah. Yeah. Bob Balaban's a little bit too soft spoken, I
Just a
think.
bit.
Cool. So that's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I have another one here that if you liked they cloned Tyrone, it might be worth a look because it's got some similar vibes, and that's the Blackening from Tim Story.
Oh yeah.
So this is out on VOD now, and I had a really good time with this one. It's a lot of fun. This is a horror comedy. It kind of takes the whole the trope of the one black character in a slasher movie always getting killed, immediately, and it kind of so it takes that trope and just opens it wide and presents you with an entire it's a slasher movie, but the entire cast is comprised of black actors, and the slasher, the killer, is like sort of playing a game with these people and like forcing them to like asking them questions about like horror movies and stuff. So there's a little bit of like the kind of Scream style like meta commentary in there. It leans way more heavily on the comedy side than the horror side. However, it's not like spoof territory. That's one of the things that I was a little bit concerned about going into it, because the trailers, while made it look good, I was a little bit concerned that it was going to go too much into like the scary movie side of things and be like a goof spoof basically. It's not. It's just a horror comedy. So it's actually very funny. I liked the amount of comedy in it. I thought that it actually was a pretty decent balance. And there's just a lot of fun moments. So yeah, I definitely recommend The Blackening. I think it's a really good time. I think that it does have its problems. Not all the jokes land. They are pretty rapid fire with the jokes. And then when the killer is revealed and stuff, first of all, it's not all too surprising, and second, it's just not that interesting. It feels like the justifications of the killer just don't really feel like there's a lot of weight to them or anything. Also, I feel like what they did with Jermaine Fowler's character was annoying, unfortunately. I like Jermaine Fowler a lot, but the character that they had him play was a little bit too over the top. So, but I still give it a light recommend. The Blackening. I think you would like it, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this one out. And I'm glad that you said that, because I did kind of feel that with the trailer, that I was like, this feels like a spoof territory.
Yeah, fortunately it doesn't. It's just
Good.
like it's a pretty like normal horror comedy.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go to a completely different arena. with the next movie I'm going to talk about, which is Jonathan Davies' Topology of Sirens. This has been on my most anticipated list, I think, like 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
And it finally came out on movie. And I think I even said numerous times, like, this feels like a movie film. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this should be a movie release. And guess what? They finally listened to me and they released it. And man, it did not disappoint. This was exactly what I was looking for. Just kind of has that, like, lazy, kind of laid back, like, somewhat of a mystery film. It takes place in and around Los Angeles, but it's kind of like the more like nature areas of Los Angeles. Kind of has like a Pacific Northwest feel to it. They're like all the frames are very verdant, very green, just lush with, plant life and everything. It's got a lot of like experimental music, more like ambient type stuff. And it's just this very mystery. This woman moves into I think it was her aunt's house. She finds a hurdy-gurdy in a closet. There's a little compartment in it, opens up. There's some mysterious micro cassettes. And she just tries to, decipher what's on these cassettes. And it just leads her kind of on like the scavenger hunt in and around all these areas. And she's got a kind of like puzzles, but it has kind of like a I almost want to say the atmosphere, the pacing kind of feels like a Kelly Wright.
Cool. So that is Topology of Sirens. I didn't know that this came out. I had no idea.
Me either. I just happened to be on Mubi the one day, and I was like, "Oh, hold up."
I'll definitely have to check this out. Okay. The next thing I saw was Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. What a title here. This movie's great. I expected that it would be fun, but for me, this was probably the best Mission Impossible. It was definitely better than the last two. I would say maybe even better than the last three Mission Impossible movies. I always have fun with these movies. Like, I don't find them super memorable or anything like that, but as far as just like fun popcorn action flicks, like these are, I mean, you just can't beat these really. This one is just huge. Like the set pieces in this are insane. I mean, it feels like you're watching a video game, really.
Yeah.
It's long as hell. This movie's like 2 hours and 45 minutes long, and it's part one. So it leaves you sort of on a major cliffhanger. And I mean, I guess that's sort of a complaint, but not really, because you don't feel the length. I saw this in the theater, and you just definitely do not feel the length because it's moving at such a breakneck pace that you're just it doesn't give you time to like really kind of process how long you've been sitting there. But it's great. I definitely recommend it. It's probably one of the best in the like more recent entries. I don't even know how many of these movies there are at this point, like 6 or 8 or something.
Yeah. Looks like maybe this is the 7th.
Okay, yeah, could be. Sounds right, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, they're all decent. Like, they're all pretty good. And this one is pretty great.
Yeah, I've been meaning to catch up with these. I only saw the first one. I never watched any of the others.
The second one is probably the weakest of all of them.
That's probably why my interest dropped.
And then from there, they just kind of increase in just how crazy they are. And this one is just I'm telling you, the set pieces in this are just so wild. Super fun, really fun. Like, there's like a shootout in a sandstorm. So like the sandstorm plays a big part in it. Oh man. There's like this crazy train scene where they're like the train's falling off of a blown up bridge, and they're like trying to race because each car is like falling one by one. And
Oh, I kind of saw that. That looked like whatchamacallit. It's like the
Uncharted.
exact thing. Yeah,
It's
it's the
yeah.
exact. Yeah, it's the exact
Yeah.
same.
Yep. It is pretty much the exact same as Uncharted, but it's still really fun.
Incredible. That's all I have. It's just those two.
All right, I'll rattle off some other ones here quickly. I saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I definitely recommend it. I'm so tired of Marvel movies, but for some reason this one this doesn't feel like a Marvel movie to me. It feels like its own kind of standalone, just like a sci-fi, space opera type movie. This one I think is far better than Volume 2. I loved the visuals in this one, like super bright, vibrant colors, really interesting creature design, and the planets that they go to. It's definitely worth a look. I saw God is a Bullet. That's the one that I mentioned earlier when we were talking about Jamie Foxx. This movie's absolutely bonkers. I didn't know what to expect from this. I just thought it was going to be kind of a crime thriller. Didn't see any trailers or anything. All I knew is that it was like supposedly based on true events, and it was based on a novel of the same name. This is directed by Nick Cassavetes, and it stars Micah Monroe and Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. And this movie is absolutely nuts. This is a super long movie too. It's like 2.5 hours long, and it's just this sprawling, over-the-top, gory crime thriller about this satanic cult that kills this guy's ex-wife and kidnaps his daughter in order to turn her, basically sex traffic her. And he's a cop, and he teams up with this former cult member, played by Micah Monroe, to go get revenge and retrieve his daughter. So it's a revenge thriller at the end of the day, and the way that they murder this Satan cult is it's so over the top. Like, I did not expect the level of gore that you see in this movie,
Dude, when you were like texting me kind of like the play-by-play color commentary,
Yeah.
it just increasingly got more batshit insane. Like
the snake.
like you started off low and just like escalated with each text, and I'm just like, it can't be real. Like, he's making this up.
Yeah, there's like a scene where one of the cult members uses a rattlesnake as a weapon, and what they do is they inject crank into a rattlesnake to get it all riled up, and then basically use it to try to kill Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, and it bites him like 10 times. It bites him in the throat. It bites him in the face. I mean, it's wild. This movie is it's not necessarily good. I wouldn't call it good, but because it is messy as all get out. I mean, this movie is a goddamn mess, but it's still it's still something to behold. So I don't know. Maybe a light recommend for it. And the final one that I'll mention is Diabolik. This is the new one that came out, directed by Antonio Minetti and Marco Minetti. And, it's a sort of a sequel to the original Mario Bava film, Danger Diabolik. And this was, man, what a massive disappointment. I love Danger Diabolik. I think it's maybe my favorite Bava film. I don't know. I love it. I love the look, the style. It's just such a great movie. And this movie, it captures a lot of the visual style. Like, this movie looks really good. They did a really good job of sort of capturing the 60s Italian film aesthetic. I mean, it looks they did a good job of making it look authentically 60s. And like a lot of this, like, the costumes are great. The sets are great. The way that it's shot looks very Bava-esque. The lighting's not on the same level as what Bava would do. But, aesthetically it looks good. Where this movie falters big time is in the narrative. It's so boring. Like, this movie is so dry. There's like a couple cool heists, but for the most part, it's just so dreadfully boring. And it's just such a huge disappointment because, like, you can see the potential there. Like, it's almost like all the pieces are there, but they just couldn't put it all together. Like, even the cast is good too. I mean, the guy that they got to play Diabolik, I'm not familiar with him, but I think is it Luca Marinelli? Not really familiar with him. He was fine, but like everybody else was just so good. Miriam Leone, like, but man, like, it just took me so long to get through this because it's just so boring to me. And they're making these same guys. These are brothers that directed this. They have a new one that's coming out. So I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping that they are gonna make things a little bit, like, pick up the pace a little bit, man, because the pacing in this movie is just so off. Like, it is just, whew.
Yeah, that's the last thing a Diabolik movie should be.
Yeah,
it should not be boring.
It dude, it is so dry. I mean, it's cool. Like, I like Diabolik as a character because you don't see too many anti-heroes, and I mean like real anti-heroes these days. And Diabolik is like 100% an anti-hero. This is a guy that you're rooting for. You want him to succeed, and he's literally just killing people. Like, he just kills people, and like innocent people.
Yeah, he's just a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
through and through.
He's like not a nice person. He's selfish. He indiscriminately murders people. There's a scene where he gets arrested in this, and he ends up creating a mask of someone and then swapping places with them. So basically, this person is wearing a Diabolik mask, and he is executed via guillotine. And so Diabolik swaps places with him, and this guy gets his head chopped off. So yeah, like, Diabolik is just such an asshole, but it's designed for you to want to see him, like, pull off the heist and get away, which I think is really funny. I mean, that's how the Bava one was too.
Love it.
Yeah. So anyway, I can't really recommend it, man. Like, maybe like watch some clips or something on YouTube just so you can see what it looks like, because it does look great. I mean, I loved the cinematography and stuff, but man, it was just a slog.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Hopefully the new one will be good. I think that one's supposed to be out this year. All right, let's take a look at what we have in theaters this week. Sympathy for the Devil.
What?
That's the one with old Nick Cage and Joe Kinnaman. I think that's really the only one that I'm seeing that's getting a wide release.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'll check out Sympathy for the Devil, but not in theaters. Like, that is strictly a VOD. Yeah. That is a
VOD movie. Come on.
I mean, that is like the most quintessential VOD movie I think I've ever seen. So
trying to pull a fast one.
Yeah. Crazy. On VOD this week, let's see. We have, what's today? The 23rd. So we're starting with the 25th. We have Holiday, which looks like some kind of horror movie. We got Justice League War World. I feel like maybe it's just me, but to me that feels like a tongue twister. That's like rural juror. Justice League War World.
War World.
War World. And it's like one word too. So it's
what?
War World. I don't know why. I find that to be very funny. I've got Once Upon a Time in Uganda coming out. That's a documentary about Hollywood, so probably definitely going to check that out. Big fan of Hollywood, as as you are. Resident Evil Death Island. It's an animated one. Got, let's see. On the 28th, we have War Pony. We got For the Animals. Sons of Summer. Susie Searches. What is that? Like a crime thriller, maybe? We got The Mistress. Shrapnel. And Sympathy for the Devil. Okay, so Sympathy for the Devil is getting a VOD release also.
Yeah, come on.
That's more like it. That's more like it. On Blu-ray this week. Sorry, I forgot about looking at Netflix. Let's see if anything's coming out on Netflix. Paradise is coming out. I'm not really familiar with that. Is that Ben Affleck in the poster? Is that
Ben?
Am I looking at Ben here? No, I don't think
Ben?
so. No, that's not Ben. From like the little minimized thumbnail of the poster, it looks like it might have been Ben, but it's not.
It's called Paradise.
Yeah, Paradise.
Paradise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Clever title. It's a clever title.
You don't get anything on Letterboxd. Typed in Paradise here. Numerous paradises, but it's like 1991, 1984, 1982.
Well, it looks pretty generic from the poster anyway. Who knows? Maybe it's incredible. I literally never heard of it. So we also have Happiness for Beginners, and then both of those were on the 27th, and then on the 28th we have Ladybug Cat Noir the movie. Ladybug and Cat Noir the movie.
No, of course.
So it's an animated film. So Blu-ray this week. We got The Boogeyman coming out in 4K. That's the 1980 one. There's a lot of Boogeyman movies, including one that's like coming out very soon.
Yeah.
Lots of Boogeymans. The one that I saw from the 80s, not this one, interestingly, was pretty good. Let's see. Okay. We got we have Undefeatable from 1993. That's going to be on 4K. Night Screams from 1987. Get a 4K release. We got Villages of the Damned. Is this a box set or a... No, what is this? It includes The Forest of the Wolf, Beatrice, and The Sky is Falling. I'm not familiar with those. This is a Vinegar Syndrome release. World War Z coming out in 4K. Needful Things from 1993 coming out in 4K. Looks like they're re-releasing the 2014 Ninja Turtles movie.
All right.
Gotta cash in on that. People wanting to revisit the franchise.
Sure do.
What is this? Venture Bros. Radiant is the blood of the baboon heart?
Uh-huh.
This is a movie.
Yeah, that isn't. They have a movie coming out on HBO. Oh yeah, on Max.
I was totally not familiar with this at all.
It was interesting because I saw that the movie is coming out, but this is what Max is doing, right? So they have that movie coming out, but they're also getting rid of Venture Brothers, the show, from Max, so you can't watch the show. And the best part is the creator of Venture Bros didn't find out, except on Twitter, when they were like, "Hey, we're getting rid of it," and he's like, "What? That don't make sense." So Max is just fucking killing it, like always.
That doesn't make any sense at all. Warner Brothers is putting out this movie. Do they not own the IP? I mean, like, I thought all the Adult Swim shit was on Max. Is that not? I'm pretty sure it is.
What?
They
don't have enough bandwidth. Okay,
like they have
it's either the movie or the show. Pick
one or the other. Like they have. I know that Max has Rick and Morty. So what is the sense in that?
There can only be one. There can only be one brothers. You could either get Venture Brothers or Property Brothers. That's it.
Well,
one or the other. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Well, either way, this is the first time learning about this movie, and I'm very excited for it because I love Venture Brothers, and like it's such a great series, but we get like one season every 10 years. It takes those guys so long to make a new season. But man, well, see, now I want to go back and revisit this whole series. Is it?
Well, yeah.
Is it gone? It's currently gone, or it's leaving?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I'm gonna pull up Max right now while you list other movies.
Okay, you do that. We got So I Married an Axe Murderer from 1993. That's coming out in 4K. Team America is getting a new Blu-ray release. Blood Money, 4 classic westerns. That's an Arrow box set. Got Shame from 1988.
Brother's still on there.
Okay, good. I'm gonna try to cram all those in before they pull the plug. We got yeah. No, I'm never gonna be able to watch all those. Spacked Out from 2000. We got. Well, actually, I probably don't need to watch like the first 2 seasons because I've seen those so many times. Like I know those by heart. Anyway, we got that Resident Evil movies coming out on Blu-ray. Also, the one that's the new animated one that I mentioned. Magic Cop from 1990. Well, I'm intrigued in this one. This. See, now you have titles like I already forgot Paradise. You know, like generic ass titles, and then you have Magic Cop.
Yeah.
Come on.
You want the tagline? You want me to hit you with the tagline?
Yeah, do it.
It's Magic Cop, 1990. All right. He's a modern day devil hunter. He's a master of the martial arts. He's ... Mr. Vampire! ! Come on.
Former cop rejoins the police department to investigate a drug ring that employs ghosts and vampires.
Are you kidding? Are you fucking kidding?
Oh my god. Yes, please. I know what I'm going to be watching this week. Magic Cop.
Christ.
This is why I love going over the Blu-rays. Because these days, Blu-ray releases are just crazy movies like Magic Cop.
Yeah. It's by the guy who did Contract Killer with Jet Li.
Oh, I like that movie. That's a good movie. All right, we have Graveyard Alive from 2003. We got The Outwaters from 2022. Huh, that's got a cool cover.
My wife wants to see that.
It looks the cover is very disturbing. Let's see what else we have here. Midnight Spares from 1983. Looks like Hollywood. There's looks like maybe some sort of box set, like a Hollywood box set. Let's see what this includes. It's the Super Action Volume 1. It includes Who Killed Captain Alex and Bad Black. But on the cover it has is the one on the cover, it says it has somebody wearing an Ebola hunter. Wasn't there like an Ebola one that they did? Can't remember. Anyway.
Feel like there is.
Either way, Bad Black and Who Killed Captain Alex are awesome, so that's worth picking up. Swamp Thing from 1982 getting I feel like this Blu-ray list is massive this week. Holy cow. Mad Heidi from earlier this year. Shadow of Death from 1969. You know what? That's all we'll do for now. That's pretty much all the big ones. What about Criterion's?
Seemed like a longer list than usual.
Yes.
Well, we got one Criterion. That's Carl Franklin's One False Move, Bill Paxton, Billy Bob Thornton, and Cinda Williams. Putting that on my watch list.
Nice, yeah. That's
good.
That does look good. That does indeed look good. All right, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet and @FilmPulseKevin. If you have a minute, consider reviewing us on iTunes. That'd be great. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.